Pinocchio, with a little help from Michael Morpurgo, Emma Chichester Clark, and not forgetting Signor Carlo Collodi. Chapter 5. At the Inn of the Red Lobster. And that talking cricket again. Yes, I know you thought he was dead, and so did I. We walked and walked, but the twinkly lights of the city of Simple Simons never seemed to get any closer. As the evening came on, we found ourselves walking through a small village, all of us tired out. It was the lame fox who suggested we stop the night at the village inn, the Inn of the Red Lobster. We can have just a little nibble to eat, have a good night's sleep, and then we'll be on our way again towards the city of Simple Simons and the Field of Wonders. It seemed like a good idea to me. We all sat down to eat in front of the fire, and soon enough in came the food. "Only a nibble, you understand," said the lame fox. "I don't eat much. I am on a diet. Doctor's orders. Only a nibble." But all the same he managed to wolf down a whole hare, some partridges, a few pheasants, a couple of rabbits, and half a dozen frogs and lizards. That was all. "Only a nibble? I don't eat much either. I'm not feeling well," said the blind cat, who then proceeded to eat his way through 35 meatballs in tomato sauce, then tucked into 4 helpings of tripe cheese sauce. Just watching them put me off my food. I was so excited, all I could manage was a few nuts and a crust of bread. I couldn't get to sleep for a long while that night. All I could think about was the Field of Wonders and the gold that would soon be mine. By this time tomorrow I'd be rich, rich, rich. But I did fall asleep in the end. And when I did, I dreamed. I dreamed I was walking through fields of golden corn, and all around the trees grew golden leaves, and even the clouds in the sky were gold. I was woken in the morning by a loud knocking at my door. "Time to get up, Pinocchio, lazy head," the innkeeper bellowed. "Your friends are up already, and gone 2 hours ago. They wanted me to say good-bye for them. The blind cat had news his son was dying. Chilblains, I think he said. Oh, yes, and by the way, they said you wouldn't mind paying the bill." Actually, I did mind, but I couldn't say so, could I? I went downstairs and paid the bill. I was not a happy puppet, I can tell you, as I handed over one of my 5 gold coins. "Your friends said they'd meet you at the Field of Wonders," said the innkeeper. "Go to the city of Simple Simons as soon as you can," they said. "Someone will tell you the way." So off I went, on my own. What's 1 gold coin? I asked myself, counting the 4 I had left. When I get to the Field of Wonders and plant the others, I'll have hundreds of gold pieces, thousands, and to have a son die of chilblains must be terrible. And I know what you must be thinking. How could you be that gullible, that stupid, Pinocchio? I've been asking myself that question off and on ever since. I mean, why is it that I so often believed what I wanted to believe? Why didn't I think? Silly me, silly, silly me. The road took me into a dark forest. All around me I heard rustlings and snortings. I could feel eyes watching me. I whistled as loudly as I could to show how brave I was. But I wasn't. I was terrified. The noises were coming closer, louder. There were bears and wolves in these woods, and they were after me. "Don't worry, Pinocchio," came a little voice. I looked up and saw on a nearby tree trunk a tiny, glowing light. I went closer to see what it was. It spoke again. "I am the ghost of talking cricket. The one you killed. Remember?" "Go away!" I cried, not wanting to be reminded of the terrible murder I had committed. "You know exactly what you should do, Pinocchio, don't you? Go home to poor Geppetto and his wife. Go home to your mamma and papa. They cry for you day and night." "It's none of your business talking cricket," I said. "Anyway, I will go home when I've made my fortune in gold, and not before. These 4 gold coins will become thousands, and my mamma and papa will have riches beyond their wildest dreams." "You silly puppet. Money doesn't grow on trees. You have to earn it. Anyone who tells you different is either a fool or a swindler. Go home. You're a good boy at heart, Pinocchio. I know you are. For goodness sake, do what your heart tells you is right." "What do you know? You're just a talking cricket," I shouted at him. "In fact, you're not even that. You're just the ghost of a talking cricket. Why should I listen to you?" "Because I am your conscience, Pinocchio. The little voice in your head that will always remind you of what is right and what is wrong." I'll do what I want to do," I yelled at him. "Go away, or I'll kill you again." "Please yourself, Pinocchio. But watch out for the thieves and robbers and highwaymen. That's all I can say. There are a lot of them about, behind every bush, every tree." "Get lost, talking cricket," I shouted. "I don't believe in ghosts. I don't. You're not real. You're only a ghost, and I don't believe in ghosts. I don't. And at once the light went out, and I was alone again in the dark of the forest. I hurried on. Robbers, thieves, highwaymen. Am I frightened of them? No, I told myself. Then I shouted it aloud to drown out the sounds of all the stirrings in the forest. "I'm not scared of you. I'm Pinocchio. I'm not scared of tigers, of wolves, even of stupid talking cricket ghosts." But I'd only got a little further when 2 shadowy, cloaked figures emerged from the trees in front of me, one shorter than the other, both of them wearing masks. The talking cricket had been right. I knew at once they must be highwaymen, and I knew what they would be after, too, my gold coins. Before they got to me, I put the coins into my mouth and held them under my tongue. "Your money or your life, puppet!" they cried, holding a dagger at my throat. There was something about the way they spoke that I recognized, but I couldn't think what it was. Maybe you can. I couldn't reply, of course. My gold coins would clink inside my mouth if I tried to speak. "Come on, dear boy," said the shorter one. "Give us your gold, or you're a dead man, a dead puppet." "Dead puppet," echoed the other highwayman. "And when we've killed you," the short one went on, pressing the dagger under my throat, "we'll go and kill your papa and your mamma, too." "Mamma, too," snarled the other. "Oh, please don't," I cried. "Please don't harm them." As soon as I said it, the coins clinked in my mouth, so that they knew exactly where they were. They went mad. They grabbed me by my nose and tried to prise open my mouth with the dagger. I knew that I was fighting for my life, for Mamma and Papa's lives too, and all fear suddenly left me. I kicked and bit and scratched. I fought like a wild thing. I might only have been a spindly little puppet, but when I was angry I was strong. I managed to escape from their clutches and leg it. I dashed through the trees until I came to open fields. I could hear them close behind me, cursing me and telling me all the terrible things they were going to do when they caught up with me. For a while I ran even faster, leaping over ditches and streams, but it was no good. They were catching me up all the time, and all the time my legs were weakening. So when I came to a tall pine tree, I didn't think twice. I was up it in a flash, lickety-split, climbing to the topmost branches. I sat up there and got my breath back. At first they tried to climb up after me, but I was relieved to see they couldn't manage it. I cocked a snook at them and called them all the rude names I could think of. Well, I thought I was safe, didn't I? But it wasn't long before they came up with a different plan. They began to drag branches from around about to build a fire right around the foot of the tree. They were going to burn me out. I prayed the fire wouldn't catch, but it did, and quickly. All too quickly. Soon the flames were roaring up from below, and the whole tree began to crackle and smoke. It was the smoke in the end that saved me. Holding my breath, under cover of the smoke, I shimmied down the tree and sprang to the ground. Off I went again, running as fast as my legs would carry me, knowing that as soon as I came out of the smoke, they would see me again and give chase. I was some way ahead of them when I came to a river, fast-flowing and muddy. I reckoned it might be possible to jump it if I judged it just right, if I was lucky. I had little choice anyway, so I went for it. I'd never leapt so high or so far in all my life. I was over. From the other side, I turned to watch those two villainous highwaymen as they prepared to make the jump themselves. Joy, oh joy! They landed right in it, right up to their necks. I thought they might have drowned, but only moments later, dripping and muddied, I saw them wading towards the bank, and soon they were out and after me again. So I legged it into the tall, dark forest, but the more I ran, the more weak and spindly I felt. Every time I looked around, they were closer and closer. I was sobbing as I ran. When they caught me, they'd cut my throat. Why hadn't I listened to the ghost of Talking Cricket? Why? How could I have been so stupid? My head was spinning. I knew I couldn't go on much longer. Then, suddenly there in front of me, I saw the whitewashed walls of a little cottage, bright and welcoming through the trees. If only I could get there before they caught me, I could lock myself in, I could be safe. I found new strength in my legs and raced on ahead. I was on my last legs as I reached the cottage and hammered at the door. Above me, an upstairs window opened. I looked up to see the face of a young girl looking down at me. She was beautiful, her hair as blue as the sea, her face as white as wax. "No one lives here," she said in a deathly whisper. "No one living anyway. Only me." "I don't care," I cried. "Open the door, please. I beg you, help me. There are two highwaymen after me." But before I could finish speaking, the pair were on me, dragging me away back into the forest. I was done for. They kicked and beat me, sat on me till I squealed, shook me until I rattled, cursing and yelling at me to open my mouth, but I wouldn't. They could kill me if they wanted, but I would never give up my 4 gold coins. Never, never. "I've got an idea. Let's hang him by the thumbs," said one. "By the thumbs," said the other. They grabbed me and dragged me to a tree. There, despite all my kicking and struggling, they tied a noose round each of my thumbs, threw a rope over a branch, and hauled me up from the ground. I hung there for hour after hour, all hope of rescue gone, but keeping my mouth firmly shut. I would never give in. They would never have my golden coins. I would rather die with them inside my mouth. After a while, the two masked highwaymen got bored with waiting. "We'll be back in the morning," said the shorter highwayman as they walked off. "When you're dead." "Dead," echoed the other one. "Once you're dead, your mouth will be sure to open wide." "Open wide?" echoed the other. With that, they left me swinging and swaying in the wind, waiting to die, the nooses tighter and tighter round my thumbs. My eyes went dim. My head filled up with the silence of death. I knew I couldn't last much longer. All I could think of was Mama and Papa, and how stupid I'd been. How I would love to see them once more, to tell them how sorry I was. How I would miss them when I was dead. I closed my eyes, drifting into sleep, the sleep that would last forever. Chapter 6. A Good Fairy, Taking My Medicine, and Nose Trouble. I never expected to wake up again. When I did, I wasn't sure whether I was in this world or the next. I opened my eyes to see a huge falcon hovering right above me, his wings beating the air. I thought he was going to dive down and peck me, but when I looked up into his bright eye, I saw that he was kind, and I knew he would not hurt me. Closer and closer to me he hovered, and then with his powerful beak he began to tear apart the rope that held me by the thumbs. In a moment I was free, and I felt his claws pinch my shoulders as he gripped hold of me and flew me down over the forest floor, landing me gently on the mossy ground. Then with a great cry of farewell he lifted into the air and flew off. He had saved me. For some moments I lay there, half dead, half alive, still quite unable to move. I must have fallen unconscious for a while, because when I opened my eyes I saw not a falcon, but a white poodle standing over me. And not any old white poodle. This one wore a tricorn hat and a wig of white curls. He was dressed in a brown velvet coat with sparkly buttons and breeches of crimson velvet, with silk stockings and silver-buckled shoes. I can tell you, he was the most overdressed poodle there ever was. "My name, good sir, is Medoro," he said. "My mistress sent the falcon to rescue you, and she has sent me to bring you home. I have a carriage waiting for you, sir." And sure enough, there, waiting on the road, was an elegant little coach that looked as if it was made entirely of glass and drawn not by a horse, but by 100 white mice. The poodle helped me up into the carriage and laid me gently down on deep feathery cushions. Then he got up into the driver's seat, and with a click of his tongue off the mice trotted, the ride so smooth that I hardly felt it. I was still not sure if all this was not just a wonderful dream. When the coach stopped, I saw that we had pulled up at the same little white cottage I'd been to before in the forest, and outside it stood the same lovely girl with the same blue hair and the waxen skin, more fairy than human. It was she who carried me upstairs into a sweet bedroom where all the walls were of mother of pearl, and sat by my bed stroking my forehead and singing to me softly. I thought then that I had truly died and gone to heaven. "I have sent for the doctors, little one," she said. "They are the best and nicest doctors I know. They will examine you and make you well again. One is a cackling crow, and one is a hooting owl, and the last is a dear friend of mine, a talking cricket." The talking cricket! Not him! How ashamed of myself I felt. I didn't want to have to face him again, not after what I'd done. Hadn't he warned me again and again? And I still had my gold coins hidden under my tongue. How was I going to explain them away? I didn't want those doctors to discover them. "Keep quiet," I told myself. "Just keep quiet. Don't open your mouth. Don't say a word. Pretend to be asleep." By the time they arrived, I was pretending to be in such a deep sleep, the crow and the owl couldn't make up their minds whether I was alive or dead. They prodded and pecked me, tapped my knees, listened to my heart. I didn't move. Then the talking cricket spoke up. "Just a moment. I think I know this puppet," he said. "Yes, I do. Dead or alive, he is a headstrong rascal who never takes advice. He's a runaway who's breaking his mamma's heart and making his papa's life a misery." I couldn't help myself then. The talking cricket was so right. I started to sob and sob, my whole body shaking. "Well, I see he's not dead after all. I've cured him," declared the hooting owl. "I was the one to cure him," boasted the cackling crow. "I think you'll find it was me," said the talking cricket. "Maybe this is a good sign, though. This puppet, even if he's half dead, still has some shame. He could make something of himself after all, if he lives." When I opened my eyes, the doctors were gone, and only the good fairy remained. She bent over and kissed me tenderly on the forehead. "Sweet dreams, Pinocchio," she said, and with that she left the room. At once I took out the 4 gold coins and hid them under my pillow. I fell asleep properly this time, but my dreams were very far from sweet. In my feverish sleep I tossed and turned, and when I dreamed of the good fairy. She was bending over me, lifting my head, trying to get me to drink some medicine from a glass. "Drink it, Pinocchio, dearest, please. It'll make you better." "Shan't," I said. "Don't like medicine. It's too bitter." "I'll give you a lump of sugar afterwards, to take away the taste." "I want the sugar first," I told her. "Now." "You promise you'll take the medicine after, like a good boy?" "Yes," I said. The sugar lump was delicious. Then she tried again to make me take the medicine. "Shan't," I said, clamping my lips shut. "Pinocchio, dearest, please," she begged me. "You're a very sick boy, you know. You have a bad fever, and if you don't take this medicine, it will only get worse. And if a fever gets worse and worse, well, you might even die." "Don't care. That medicine's horrible. I can smell it. I'd rather die than drink it." "Very well, Pinocchio," she said. "I don't like to do this, but I have to, for your own good." The moment she said it, the door flew open, and in came 4 rabbits, black as coal. They walked solemnly towards me, carrying on their shoulders a small black coffin. Who's that for?" I asked in fear and trembling. "For you, dear Pinocchio," said the fairy. But I'm not dead," I cried. "You soon will be," said the fairy, "if you don't take your medicine." "Oh, no, no, no," I wailed. "I don't want to die. I'll take the medicine. I will. Give it to me." I took the glass in my hands and swallowed every last drop. At once I felt better, and I sprang out of bed. "You see," I cried, "I'm not dead. My legs work, my arms work. I'm alive, I'm alive." The 4 black rabbits did not look at all happy to see me so hale and hearty, but I didn't care about them. I was so glad not to be dead. I threw my arms round the good fairy. Thank you, dear sweet fairy," I said. "Now I must feed you up and make you strong again, Pinocchio dear." Then she sat me down in front of the fire and fed me a bowl of piping hot leek and potato soup, soon I was feeling much better. I talked and talked, telling the good, kind fairy all my adventures, about the highwaymen who had attacked me, how I'd hidden the golden coins in my mouth, and how they had hung me from a tree so that my mouth would fall open and the coins would fall out. "Where are those coins now, Pinocchio dear?" asked the fairy. "She's after them too," I thought at once. "Even the good fairy may not be as good as she seems. Everyone's after my gold coins." So I lied. "I lost them in the forest," I told her. Suddenly I felt my nose twitching, stretching itself. It was growing longer. "Anything that's lost can be found," said the fairy. "Tell me where you lost them, and we can go and look for them." Oh yes, I remember now," I said. I didn't lose them. I swallowed them when I took the medicine." My nose was growing longer still, as long as a cucumber. I turned away to hide my face so she wouldn't see. By now my nose was so long it touched the window pane. The good fairy was laughing. "Your nose, Pinocchio, your nose. If you lie any more, it will grow so long you won't be able to get out of the door." I was filled with shame at having been caught out. I couldn't look her in the face. I just wanted to run away and hide myself. I ran for the door, but I couldn't get close enough to open it. My nose was too long. She was right, like the talking cricket had been, right about everything. A moment later she clapped her hands. Hundreds of red woodpeckers seemed to fill the room, all of them settling on my nose and pecking at it furiously, till my head was filled with the thunder of their knocking. I'd have no nose left. That's what must have woken me from my dream, those woodpeckers. I woke up, crying my heart out. At once I felt my nose to see if any of it was still there. How relieved I was that the horrid peckers hadn't pecked it all away. But still I couldn't stop crying. The good fairy came to me and put her arms round me. "I had such a terrible nightmare," I told her. "No, it wasn't a nightmare, dear Pinocchio," she said. "It happened, all of it, the medicine, the black rabbits. But don't worry, it's all over now. I shall be like a good sister to you and look after you. You can stay here with me as long as you like. We shall look after one another. Would you like that? You can call me sister dear, and I shall call you brother dear, and we shall be family." "I should love to stay, sister dear, but what about Mamma and Papa?" I said. "They'll be worrying themselves sick about me." "Don't worry, brother dear. I have taken care of that. I have sent for them already. They are on the road right now, on their way." "That's wonderful," I cried. "I shall run and meet them." I got myself dressed right away, and when she wasn't looking, I took the gold coins out from under the pillow and stuffed them in my trouser pocket. Then, kissing my new-found sister goodbye, I ran out of the house and off down the road. I hadn't gone that far. I was skipping along quite happily, when who should I meet coming towards me but the lame fox and the blind cat. "We've been looking for you everywhere, Pinocchio," they cried. "Where did you go? What happened to you?" I told them the whole story, all about the horrible highwaymen. I still didn't realize who the highwaymen had been. Yes, I was that stupid, and of course I told them about my good fairy, my dear sister, who had looked after me and cared for me. "Fairies, highwaymen, you have had an exciting time," said the lame fox. "Exciting time," echoed the blind cat. And if you don't mind my asking, coughed the lame fox, what about your gold pieces? Do you still have them? Coughed the blind cat. Got them, I told them, patting my trouser pocket. Safely here. Well then, let's go to the Field of Wonders right away, Pinocchio, wheezed the lame fox, putting an arm around me. All we have to do is plant your 4 gold coins in the earth, and an hour or 2 later, 4 will become 2,000, 3, 4, 5,000, depending, of course, on how fast the tree of gold blossoms. 5,000 coins? I breathed. That many? Really? Are you sure? Oh, quite sure, said the lame fox. It's only a couple of miles or so down this road, my dear. But I've just remembered, I told them. I have to meet my mamma and papa. They're coming to find me. A little lesson in life, Pinocchio, whispered the lame fox confidentially into my ear. If a thing's worth doing, it's worth doing now. Later may be too late. Think of it. 5,000 gold coins. 5,000 gold coins, the blind cat whispered in my other ear. Well, I ask you, how could I refuse? Don't be too quick to blame me. I mean, what would you have done? Be honest now. I'm not proud of myself, not at all. I'm ashamed to say I quickly forgot all about dear Mamma and Papa, and I went along with them quite happily. We had to walk right through the city of Simple Simons to get to the Field of Wonders. That was a sad and strange place, I can tell you. Everyone was wandering about like ragged ghosts, hollow-cheeked and pale and hungry. Every dog I saw was hairless. All the sheep were shaved of their wool and trembling with cold. The butterflies had no colour in their wings and couldn't fly. Peacocks and pheasants had lost their tails and all their bright feathers. It was a place where everyone and everything was so sad. I couldn't understand why. And then, just outside the walls of this city of sadness, we followed a stream to a small field, much like any other. Here we are, said the lame fox. The earth looks fine, just here. You dig the hole, Pinocchio. So I did, as he told me. With the lame fox and the blind cat looking over my shoulder, I planted my gold coins and covered them up with earth. Now, said the lame fox, go down to the stream, fill your shoes with water, Pinocchio, and sprinkle it on the earth. And in an hour or 2, believe you us, echoed the blind cat. Your tree, continued the lame fox, will be standing there in full leaf, in full golden blossom. In full golden blossom, whispered the blind cat. They turned to go. And now we must be on our way. We have done our good deed, and made you the richest puppet in the whole country, in the whole world, probably. What more could you ask? I thanked them from the bottom of my heart, tried to persuade them to stay, to let me give them at least some of the gold as a reward for their kindness and generosity. They wouldn't hear of it. So I waved them good-bye, and walked down to the stream to fetch water in my shoes just as they told me. I came back and sprinkled the water on the earth, and then crouched down to wait for the first shoots of my tree of golden blossoms to show. I waited And I waited, and I waited. Hour after hour, I crouched there. Nothing happened. Nothing grew.
In March 2018, we opened our doors to the public with a vision not just to create challenging professional theatre, but to use this as a platform to inspire and bring communities together. Theatre and culture build identity. With theatre and culture in our local life, the community landscape is more vibrant. Local life is enriched. We believe that the benefits of theatre should be available for everyone. Our Theatre for All programme has removed financial barriers, giving disadvantaged people access to the theatre free of charge.
So we were told that we'd come here and have a Christmas meal and then go and watch A Christmas Carol.
Our aim is to make live professional theatre available to everyone and use that experience for positive change. Theatre can be transformational in young lives. Our academy is now in its 4th year, and we continue to build on our vision of bringing the best performing arts tuition to the heart of the Cotswolds. We work hard to make our academy as inclusive and as accessible as possible. Discounts apply for parents with more than one child. Our bursaries help support talented children from less affluent backgrounds. The Academy creates a fun and challenging environment where children can build friendships and develop key skills not just for theatre, but for life. We are also able to provide real opportunities for students who wish to pursue careers in the arts.
My name is Harry Apps. I am currently playing Marius in Les Miserables in the West End.
Barn outreach and learning programs engage with thousands of people. Our free workshops support the drama curriculum in local schools. Singing and musical theatre workshops in community groups and care homes have helped address issues of isolation. Our Song for Cirencester project in aid of mental health charities brought our community together in an unprecedented way. We've collaborated with many charities in the region, including the Churn Project, to support individuals dealing with the barriers to finding work.
Since working with you, my life's changed. It's given me some purpose, given me an interest, some confidence I was lacking prior to all this.
The Barn Theatre played a pivotal role in the town's 2018 World War I centenary celebrations. Who could forget our record-breaking Human Poppy? Our live streaming work on the annual Advent Festival helped thousands engage and take part in Cirencester's Christmas festivities. In these times of uncertainty, we strive to keep the community together. The theatre may be temporarily closed, but our commitment to you goes on. Even now, our amazing costume department are helping the NHS by making scrubs for frontline workers. We've used our technology to build a free live streaming service that provides much needed community news and entertainment for all the family, broadcasting every day to keep us all connected. We are not just a theatre. We are the Barn.